This session will be recorded as well as having the transcription enabled. So at the end, if you're fast enough, you can save the transcription, except for the breakout rooms, if you want notes. It's a very quick and easy way of doing notes without having to pay attention to writing them down. So how did we decide to focus on this topic tonight? Well, we have a very astute group of folks who took a close look at the clubs in our zones that had growth of 5 or more people during 2020 to 2021. And they did some investigational work. An 11-question survey was sent out to all the presidents of those clubs which increased in size. And they received back 55 answers, which was a 61% response, which is excellent for a survey. What they discovered was that there were 5 factors responsible for this growth. And you'll hear a lot more about these during PETS and the various district training assemblies and things like that. The 5 factors responsible are strong leadership, clear membership goals and a growth plan, being active in the local community with many events and service projects, being visible in the community with a strong public image, and having active, intentional member engagement. So let's take a little closer look at some of those attributes. Clear membership goals and plans. 88% stated that membership growth was a top priority. 83% uploaded their membership goals in Rotary Club Central. And 85% of them had a club membership committee. And they all stated that active attraction by members was a key strategy. With regards to community service projects, they had many highly visible community service projects that were often monthly or ongoing. And 67% of the clubs held service project events targeted at new member attraction. And as far as public image and visibility, it's not just doing, it's being seen doing. So tonight we are going to focus on 2 of those attributes: being active and visible in the local community and having many events and service projects that are seen through a strong public image. So Allison and Lizzie, take it away.
Thank you, Janet. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to start out our first part of the segment with the public image essentials and tips. We're going to cover some of the basics and some tips and tricks for making the most out of them, especially the free stuff. And also hopefully give you some fun inspiration that you can utilize on your club's online presence. Then we'll move into a breakout session where your facilitator will lead you in some discussions about what's working and what you have done in your clubs and what you found helpful here tonight. And Allison's gonna take our second half after that breakout session.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll jump right in and talk about the absolute essentials that you should have for your club's online presence to help you be visible in the community. And that starts with a great website. You want your website to be what they call responsive, which means it looks good no matter what size or shape the screen someone's using. So we know our phones and our tablets and our desktops and our laptops come in all different shapes and sizes. And you really want your website to look great no matter what device someone's on. You can see in these visuals that Rock City Rotary's website conforms to the smaller screen and looks really nice. That's how you want your screen to be. So responsive site. Your website, you want to think of it as kind of like your storefront. That's where people can come, get to know you, meet you, look at your products, see what you have to offer, and decide if they want to buy from you, or in our case, join. So what you want your website to cover at the bare minimum is who you are, what you do, and how someone could get involved. And you want your content on your site, just for ease of use as much as possible, to be what we call evergreen, meaning it's not going to expire or look stale if you don't have the time to update your website regularly. So things like where you're meeting, when, annual events, basic information about joining your club, about Rotary. Those are all things that are pretty consistent over a long period of time. Those are the things you want to make sure look great on your site. You certainly want to, if you can, include events and meetings so people can see that you're active, you have things going on. They can see where they might be able to visit or jump in on a service project. By having an events calendar on your website, that prevents posting of events from, again, looking stale or outdated. If someone comes to your website and it's clear you haven't edited it in a while, that's a very poor first impression for them. Makes them maybe feel like you're not a very active group, might make them question, how organized you are. So having that good first impression online is going to be on your website, and that's pretty important. The next essential is being on Facebook. There's a lot of different social medias out there, but almost 3 billion people are on Facebook, and it's really the biggest. You want to be active and have a really healthy and robust page. It's pretty simple. Just because so many people use it, you're going to be more likely to have someone in your club who's comfortable helping out with posting and managing your page. This is where people go for, whether we like it or not, news and information. And that includes stuff that your club is doing in the community. It even is a place where you can advertise, and we're going to talk about that. First, we're going to cover as much as we can on the free stuff, but we'll also let you know about the paid actions you can do online. Some other social media to consider if you have the bandwidth is Instagram and Twitter. So, Instagram and Facebook are owned by the same company, so they're kind of one and the same. If you post on Facebook, you can cross post onto your Instagram, which is nice, makes it easy to do both. But from Instagram, if you post starting there, you can actually cross post onto Facebook and Twitter. That's really nice. Instagram skews a little bit younger, and it's much more photo oriented. People are really going to just be looking at the image, not so much reading the text that goes with it. So you have to have really good, compelling imagery on there. And Twitter, it just depends. That one is kind of, less common, less popular. It's certainly a place where people turn to when big events and things are happening, though. And posts are, kind of come in quick with these short little tidbits of information and links to more. If you don't have the bandwidth to do multiple platforms, just stick with Facebook, because you don't want to set up accounts and then have them lay dormant. Because again, if someone comes across that, it's going to give the appearance that your club isn't active. And that might not be the case. You just might not have somebody who's really good at Twitter. So just, leave that alone if it's not something you can really commit to. Some rules and tips to follow to make your social presence strong. We wanted to share some ideas to help you. In general, when it comes to posting on social media, it's best to follow the rule of thirds. That means a third of your posts are about fun or your community. Think a news article about your local high school sports team making it to states, or a silly picture of something that happened at a meeting. A third should be about Rotary. So maybe educational things, a post celebrating the foundation having 14 straight years of a perfect score on Charity Navigator, those kind of factual, informational, educational posts. And then a third of your posts could be about inviting people to join Rotary. Visit a meeting, come to our meeting. Here's why you might want to join Rotary. Here's why Rotary is great for you professionally, personally, all those things. If all you post on your page is come join our club, you're going to be the Facebook page you cried wolf, and nobody's going to listen to you anymore. It's going to be very boring and mundane. You want to be engaging and interactive and interesting. People might not know what to expect when they go to your page one day. Another way you can expand your social reach is by using hashtags, especially if you're using Instagram. Instagram is very heavy with hashtags. That's how people search and find things and scroll and look at new things. You can use up to 30 hashtags in a post. And a hashtag is basically just a keyword or phrase with the number sign in front of it. And you can think of it as like a keyword of what someone would search. And if they search for a keyword that's in your hashtag, then your posts, your information will come up. You make up your own hashtags, but you also can do a little research into why hashtags are popular so that you'll come up in very common searches. So for example, I can make up a hashtag Lizzie and put that on all my posts. And then if you search Lizzie, I will come up along with anybody else named Lizzie who uses it too. But maybe you would prefer to do like hashtag volunteering. That might be a little bit more common phrase that people would search. And then you'll be more likely to be found. And the third is to tag your partners. So this little screenshot that you see on the left is an example of how you can follow another page from your Rotary Club page. And that makes it super easy for you to tag these pages in your own posts. So you go to their page and you can see over here in the upper left, I already like that page. That little blue like button tells me I personally like the page, but I can click the three little dots button and it brings up this menu where I can choose to like it as my page. And then I can also like it as Baldwinsville Rotary. And then when I do a post on Baldwinsville Rotary about this company, and I want to tag them, I can type the @ symbol and start to type their name and they'll pop right up because I'm friends with them. Facebook knows this, and it makes it easy. You have to be careful if you're going to tag your partners that you're truly picking the correct page when you're choosing who to tag, because you'll see a lot of search results come up and you want to make sure you get the exact right one. I want to show you an example of how important tagging partners can mean for the power of your Facebook posts. This is an example from my club. This is a post about a food drive we were holding for our backpack program in partnership with the Baldwinsville Volunteer Center. They graciously offered to host a food drive for us. So we have about 1,700 followers on our page. Normally when I post something on an average day, maybe 100 or 200 people are going to just naturally see that come up in their news feed. When I posted this, you can see the blue letters in the post. They say Baldwinsville Volunteer Center, Inc. I tagged their page, linked it to my post. They also have 1,700 followers. Maybe some are the same. Maybe there's some overlap, but organically, without paying any money, posting this and tagging it, because I expanded our reach to their followers too, we reached over 800 people with the post. So it's important to take that opportunity whenever you can and you're in a partnership like this to make sure their followers see what they're doing with you. Another free way that you can expand your presence on social media and grow your footprint is by getting your members engaged. All your members should be following your club's page on Facebook and following you on Instagram and Twitter if you're there too. And anytime there's posts or events, they should be liking them, sharing them, inviting their friends to them, and commenting even, because all of those tell Facebook's algorithm that this is a post or an event of interest and they will show it to more people. So your members have the power to influence Facebook's algorithm and help you reach more people. This is an idea that Allison and I wanted to share because it turns out both of our clubs have done this. And again, we both come from vibrant, growing clubs. Allison's club does Take 5, and it's a feature on a member. And you can see it's a very fun photo. She's skydiving, of all things. That's certainly going to catch your eye as you're scrolling through your newsfeed. And you can learn a little bit more about that Rotary member. And the other photo is from my club many years ago. We had really nice photos taken by a professional photographer of many of our members. So the photos are great quality and again, will stand out in your newsfeed. And the post that went along with it explained why that person's in Rotary, how long they've been in, what type of work they do, and how old they are. So people could get an idea of the variety of professions and people and reasons for being in Rotary in that series of posts that we put on our page. Now this slide, you can see these people look like Rotarians just by looking at the photo, right? That is a great visual. Again, as you gotta catch people as they're scrolling through their news feeds, no matter what the social platform, everyone's scrolling past posts, scrolling past photos. You gotta catch their eye. And when Rotarians all dress alike, they look like a team, they look cohesive, that looks like something someone wants to be a part of, especially like that top photo, they're smiling, they look like they're having a good time. I wanna be one of those people in those cool t-shirts. So, working on getting your club outfitted to look like a group, a cohesive group, especially when you're out and about doing things, that's going to catch people's attention and make for great photo opportunities for your online presence. And I'm going to turn it over to Allison because her club has an awesome way to make getting Rotary gear easy.
Absolutely, Lizzie. Thanks for tagging me in. Something that holds a lot of organizations back from offering merch to their members is the pain in the butt of ordering merch for all your members. You got to put out the order forms, go to the company, decide what you're doing, decide what format it's going to be in. Do you have to pay extra for embroidery? It's a pain. I absolutely 100% empathize that. The best part is we actually have, the industry has recognized that as well. People, nonprofits, teams, organizations, they don't want to handle cash. They don't want to handle their own merch. So essentially there's these online platforms that have sprung up that amount to drop shippers. You will create an online portal for free right on their website. You can direct members, interested parties, whoever to go to that website, and you can offer a wide variety of merchandise from dog t-shirts to knapsacks to hoodies to whatever you want. This is Rock City Rotary's Teespring, current Teespring account. And as you can see, we can offer a wide variety of different things that appeal to a wide variety of members with all different kinds of logos, as many as we want to put on there, as many slogans as we want to put on there. And members can go and independently take care of their own purchase, order right online, have it shipped directly to their own house, and then wear it at all their events. The best part is you set the price. There's a base price for each item, but you can use this as a great opportunity for passive fundraising by merely increasing your price above the wholesale price by $1 or $2 per item. And whatever happens, however many objects are ordered, all of that money starts coming back to you. So not only are you outfitting your members in a way that advertises your brand, but it's low/no effort and could. And that's pretty much it for Teespring.
Thanks, Allison. I know I can't wait to set one up for my club. All right, so I've talked a lot about free things that you can do, having your members share, having great content on your page, tagging your partners to extend your reach to their followers. Here's the paid part of it, and using Facebook Ad Manager is their tool for scheduling paid ads to run on Facebook and or Instagram. And you have two ways you can do it. You can create an ad within this tool and run that as its own campaign, or you can take something you've posted to your page and boost it, again, using this tool. And you get to choose, geographically where people will see your ad, and you can even pick certain behaviors and interests to target the ads to people who maybe are more interested in volunteering, family things, helping others, those kinds of behaviors you want to identify. It does cost money. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Boosting a post can be, 20 bucks. Doing a whole campaign could be a couple $100. But there are probably occasions where it might be really beneficial, like for a fundraiser, that you reach more people. Facebook in general is only going to organically show people your posts, the people who follow your page, maybe 5-6% of them. So if you think about, maybe our clubs have 500, 1,000, 1,500 followers, a very small percentage of them are actually going to see your posts on the regular. So if you boost them or you do a paid campaign, you can reach a lot more people. The final thing, all of this stuff that we've talked about, it's your online presence, it's your public facing information about your club. This last point we want to drive home is about actually internal communication within your club as yet another way to empower and inform your members so that they can help with your online presence. So at the very least, there should be weekly emails going out to your club members with what's going on so that they're up to date and current with what's happening. They can speak on it with their friends and family and peers in person as well as online. They know what's happening that you're asking them to share about online. You can put little links in the email right to that Facebook event or right to your Facebook page and ask them to click on those and share away. And really just you want to keep Rotary top of mind and keep your members engaged and connected so that they can be great ambassadors for your club. So taking all that in, we're going to move you into our first breakout session. And we want you to take this time in a smaller group setting to share, what are some of the challenges you have with your online presence? Are you able to maintain a website and a Facebook page, or have you had to choose one or the other? And what does that look like for your club? How do you balance that? What successes can you share from your club's social media or website as far as being noticed in the community or even bringing in new members? And then if there's time, we'll feel free to share other ideas, and the facilitators are going to take notes so that we can share all of this with everybody after today's presentation.
So I'm about to push you all to breakout rooms. Facilitators, you're going to be pushed into a room with your name on it. Everybody else, please click accept and you will find yourself in a room to have a chat for about the next 20 minutes. Throughout that time, I'll be floating from group to group, making sure the discussion is going well and providing reasonable reminders about time. So facilitators, I'm pushing you right now. It is 7:28 and we'll see you in about 20. And if you're still in this room, you're going to need to click that button. And if you need help, please unmute and I will push you to the right group. Should be a big giant button in the center of your screen that says join breakout room.
So I hit the wrong button. It said not, I hit not now instead of join. Is
Okay,
there, oh, right here. Hang on. I got it. I got it.
You
Thank
found
you.
it.
Yep.
Nice.
If you have, hi Janet. What are some challenges your club encounters when, oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong questions here. What are some challenges your club has experienced while maintaining the two online essentials, a website and Facebook? Go ahead, Gail.
Well, I think there's a basic assumption here that club members are all comfortable using Facebook and that they do use it. And I just don't think that's true with some of our more senior members. So I think that's a challenge. We have some people that don't even use email.
Do you send them like postcards or something?
Well, and the third thing would be that what we hear a lot of times from members is, I don't even read the emails anymore because between the local club, the district, whoever, I just get too many emails, so I just stop looking at them.
That's a good one.
That sounds like your club members aren't that engaged in Rotary to begin with, though. If they're not even willing to look at the emails.
Yeah, the complaint is that there's just too many of them. I'm just giving you back what I hear.
Well, I mean, it can definitely happen. As the person who does the emails for our club, I try to like spread them out, and not have multiples in a day if I can avoid it. It's not always avoidable because we have a lot of things going on sometimes. And as far as, yeah, you get them from the district. And if you sign up for any newsletters, you might get them from RI. So it can be overwhelming at times. That's a good point.
I think like our club and Lizzie's the one who sends them out. The title for the weekly emails is always This Week in Rotary. So it's a title that people, even if they're getting a lot of emails, they know what that one's going to be talking about. And chances are they'll look at it to find out, who the speakers at the meetings are going to be, other events that might be popping up that week. So that, having the same title all the time in your emails, I think would maybe make people look at those because they're aware of what that one is going to have in it, as opposed to random emails that come from district and come from training and RI and all the other ones.
And also, I'm from Rock City, so Allison's my team member here, but we try to have an event specific email. So that's like the meat and potatoes email, like give me the good stuff. And then we have another email that's more, recapping what's going on, maybe introing a member. So, if folks feel like it is too many emails, that events email is really the email that they need to focus on. But I'd argue, right, if they're invested in Rotary, they'll take the time to read the 2-minute email.
I think you're saying something similar to Bill, Mary, is you make it, the club recognizes which email is going to give you that quick rundown versus what might be, more for them to take in.
And if my club has a service project that pops up that, hasn't been advertised or something, I'll send an email out to the club that says volunteer opportunity. And then it'll say food link, or it'll say, food distribution, or whatever particular event it is. But I'll make sure that it says volunteer opportunity first. So
subject lines are pretty important. That's what I'm hearing.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. And another thing to mention that Allison popped right in, Allison does a good job of, is when we have a service event, we send out an email to just the folks that registered maybe 24, 48 hours before, we're seekers, whatever it is that they need to know. But it doesn't have to go to the whole club about the event. It just needs to go to the registrants. So that also reduces email overload.
That's good to know.
Another thing we do for service is part of the questions when people sign up for service events. It requires them to tell us their preferred form of communication. So we actually communicate on multiple platforms, typically doing a text blast on day of to create a group chat in case anybody gets lost or there's an issue or something of that nature. And that really avoids the issues of folks not checking their personal emails on a regular basis.
Gail, you were going to say something a minute ago, or you ask a question?
No, I think,
No, Gail.
I think, question either got answered or
Oh, okay.
whatever.
Getting back, we got off a little bit on a tangent, but it was a really good one about emails. Just, does anyone have anything else they want to share in regards specifically to their website or their Facebook page and sort of the time spent on that?
I think one of the issues is getting people assigned to be the facilitator for the pages. Again, Lizzie, you do most of it for our club as a public image chair, but it's hard to find somebody else that's willing to take on maintaining it and keeping it up to date. That's always a challenge because, even if somebody is pretty familiar with Facebook or pretty familiar with Instagram, they don't want to necessarily take on that responsibility to be the person who has to get everything up there and make it interesting.
I have a question about Facebook pages, and do you have to allow somebody to post on your Facebook page?
Yeah, you can set them up with different permission levels depending on how much access to your page you want them to have. So if you want someone to be posting on behalf of you, you want to make them an editor. And yeah, you go into the settings in your page under page roles, and you can assign people different levels of access so that they can participate. It can be helpful, if you have a team of people, so it's not all on that one person. And you can get 2 or 3 people who understand how Facebook works. They know where to look in the publishing tools to see what's scheduled to be posted so that they don't post on top of each other. And that there's multiple people who can respond to comments or messages in the inbox from the public or from your members. That's a great approach to lighten the load. It's not all on one person. And maybe one person is in charge of youth exchange stuff, so that's what they post about, and someone else is the chairperson for your big fundraisers, so that's what they post about. You could take that team approach.
I think that's a great idea. There have been lots of times when I've been to an event that I took pictures of, and I wanted to post it on our own club's Facebook page, but I don't have access. It was like,
Yeah, but if you know who those people are, you can send them the pictures and they'll use them in the post.
right. It's just not always that obvious.
Yeah,
So
I hear what you're
That's-
saying.
that should
Well,
be, it should be as part of our club directory, who's our Facebook editor.
Yeah,
One thing we have, Janet, in Rock City, we have a private group. It's a members group. So it's only our paying members. So it's not, individuals who just are interested in us.
Mhm.
We can chat amongst ourselves. The admins still have to approve the post. So not that we'd ever have an issue with someone posting something, out of left field, but we still have that control in case that were to happen. But anyone can post in there as long as an admin approves the post, but it works out really well for things like that. Like you saw some of the photos that Allison had, like we've had people post their dogs in their Rock City Rotary shirt, like, hey guys, how's everyone's weekend going? And then in turn, as a social media person, say that, Gail wants to use that for the Instagram, she could message you and say, oh my gosh, that photo of your dog was so cute. Can I put this on our, public page? And kind of works out that way too.
Thanks.
I like that. We have a private group for our members as well. All right, 2 more minutes, Allison says. So let's move on to successes. Does anyone have anything they'd like to share in the realm of, social media got us this new member, or our website helped communicate about this event and it was awesome?
I'll share that Rock City Rotary's web pages and Facebook pages are phenomenal. They're engaging. They want you there. It's like they're inviting. I want to join Rock City Rotary, but I'm too old.
Janet, we'll take you. There's no limit. No, thank you. And that's awesome to hear. I've been running them this month, so that's awesome to hear. So look out this month. No, but that's awesome.
And I think we've been successful in getting people because of publicizing things like our backpack program, that people, get behind it. They think it's a great project and they want to be, part of it. They want to get involved and do something related to it. And I think that sparks some interest for new membership as well. The other thing that always draws new membership is youth exchange, but that's not necessarily a social media thing, although it can be once we get that back up and running.
Okay, we're going to close in 55 seconds.
Gail, I hope that you will consider reaching out to your district because there should be resources with your district's public image chair to help you guys with it, either like a tutorial for your members.
What do you say, Babs?
Thanks one and all for the quick transition. We went a little bit long in the beginning, so we're going to shorten up the breakout sessions in the hopes of having enough time for question and answers at the end, because I heard a lot of really substantive discussion about ways and means and folks picking up some really important tips and tricks from other clubs. Like, everybody knows how fast chicken barbecues sell out. One club broadcasts on their Facebook page the moment the chicken is done, and everybody sees the post come right up in their feed, and they know to watch that page, and they sell out every single time. And they do chicken barbecues once a month. So other clubs that had chicken barbecues coming up, they're ready to go. So there's a hot Facebook enabled chicken barbecue supporting tip for one and all. And when Lizzie is back, I'm going to have, oh, here we are. So I'm going to move on with talking a little bit about activity in the community. And some people were, again, with the chicken barbecue discussion, already discussing the ways in which they are both visible and valuable in their communities, talking about service, professional, and social events. So if you are a club that just has meetings, that's not going to be very engaging for very long for your members. So really successful clubs tend to have three different types of events. Service events, that is the cornerstone of the Rotary ethos, where you're going out in the community and doing that good work hands-on. Professional events, this is a professional group. Most folks that join Rotary want to use it on some way to both do good in the community and network and expand their business connections and grow as professionals. And speaking of growth, social's the other third of your events. This gives you the opportunity to provide both fun events for members, but ways for them to again build and grow their social network. Outside of club meetings, a good rule of thumb is to strive for 1 to 2 events per month outside of meetings. What's critical is this part: targeting days and times that members have expressed their availability. It's all very well and good to have many events that people can go to and choose from and have this beautiful menu of events, unless you have scheduled these events not knowing the demographic of your club and your members' availability, and then you got events that are a party of one, which makes them, quite frankly, not as fun. And tying back to what Lizzie was talking about earlier in the presentation, you're going to want to use those strong internal club communications to invite members directly. Using the platforms, again, really tie into your membership and what their wants and needs and preferences are. Use a variety of platforms to contact them, not just email. For example, we have found that reaching out through social media with Rock City tends to get more member engagement because it's coming through organically on their feed. And that helps engage the folks that aren't looking at their personal email when they get home from work on a daily basis, and they might miss the club's weekly newsletter that comes out through email. Text is another great way to engage members if you feel comfortable with that and your members have already given you the green light to do so. So the more ways you can skin a cat here, the better and more engaged your club is going to be. So here are some pictures of some service events that Rock City has done. One of the things that sets Rock City apart is the volume of service events that we do. And there's a couple of, we'll call it helpful hints on how to increase the amount of service that your club is doing in the least easiest way possible. I like to call the way we do business and the way I like to do business, the lazy guy method. If you think of the people that don't want to put a ton of extra effort in, they're going to find the most efficient way to do a job. So this is efficient service event planning 101. Talk to your members, know what they want to do and what aligns with your club's mission and vision. Survey your members 1 to 2 times a year. It could be on a professional survey platform if you have folks that have that in their toolbox and skill set among your club membership. Or you could use something easy like a Google form, which is part of pretty much every club's Google suite if you have your own Gmail address. Put it out there to members, take a look at it, and then have them just basically let you know, when are they available? What sort of events do they want to do? How do they want to do business? And where do they see your club going and growing? This is another key to success is leadership opportunities. If you have many service events and events in general, you're going to burn your board out very, very quickly if there's a feeling that they have to be present individually at every single event. This is a great way to train the next generation of leadership and make it a sustainable growth model for your club. Walk over and invite those new members once they've had a few months, they've gone to some events. Say, would you mind being the lead contact for this event? And this is how easy it can be. They get the phone numbers of the people that are participating in the event. They get the list of what it's going to be and the contact name when you get to the service event project. All they have to do is be the day of point of contact for anybody that needs help on that day. It helps spread out your resources and gives members, individual members that are not already a board member, a sense of ownership in their own club. You might be thinking to yourself, there's so many ways we could partner. We already have some partners. We might like to get more partners to engage more people, because I've noticed that the more partnerships that you do, you tend as a club to now have a new outreach venue with all the individuals that are involved with that partnership. So you can track your partners in a spreadsheet. Darlene, go right ahead. Go ahead and unmute Miss Darlene. I'm going to ask you, oh, you have. Did you have a question?
I don't know. I think she might have accidentally raised her hand, Allison, but I think it worked on the dogs.
Okay, amazing. So would you mind, so when I became service chair this year, there are so many organizations in the greater Rochester area, specifically within the Rochester city limits, that are desperate need of help of all different kinds. I decided to create a management system to track our communications so we don't miss anything. What I did was, hey, look, it's a spreadsheet. Most folks are familiar with spreadsheets. If you're not familiar yourself, I guarantee you there's somebody in your club that already uses them as part of their job. And what Lizzie's scrolling through is literally a database that I created of almost every single nonprofit organization in the Rochester city limits that has direct and hyper-local impact. It has all their contacts, their physical street address, the person to whom you're going to want to talk to, as well as their purpose. As we scroll over to the right, it gives a brief information about what do they need. Is this a passive service opportunity where we can raise funds or information for them? Or is it an active service opportunity where we can go and provide that hands-on, boots on the ground support? And then this is where the contact, and I'll admit that it's not as updated as I would like it to be, but this is where I can track, and anybody else on the board can track, who has talked to whom, what was the result of that conversation, and when do we need to recontact them. I developed an email form explaining who we are, what we do, and how we might be able to help their organizations. and pushed it straight out to every single one of these organizations on August 31st of this year. Within 48 hours of that time of sending out emails, we were booked with 2 service events per month for the next 6 months. It was that easy. These are ready-made service opportunities with a partnering organization that has a demonstrated need, and all we have to do is get the members and show up. It makes it easy to go do good in your community. So moving on, social events. This is another thing that brings people to Rotary. They want to know more people in their community. And as you can see, these are some Rock City events that have taken place. We like to specifically patronize local Rochester businesses that are seasonal and have some sort of deep connection to the community. We've gone on corn maze things. We've cleaned up stuff at the beach, gone to pizza, gone to Heroes Brewing on Atlantic Avenue for a member social happy hour. You name it, we've gone and done it. And it's something that our members have really valued and tend to turn out for. So again, what do the members want to do? Do you have members that are in an age in their life that they want to do things that are more family friendly? If so, make sure that you're deliberately scheduling social events that aren't adults only all the time, so they don't have to feel like they have to choose between their children and their social life. Our club is exceptionally pet friendly. So catering to our members in that way, making events that are pet friendly has been another thing that could engage our members. Dry and wet events is something I put on here. A lot of social events for adults involve alcohol. Not all adults that might be members of your Rotary Club are in the same process of their relationship to alcohol and drinking. In that, being sensitive to that, you may want to consider having events throughout the year that are a good mix of both dry events where drinking is not the focus and wet events where folks can choose to partake or not. We're a little bit more cognizant of this as a club because we do literally meet at a brewery. And we do have some members that are in different spaces along that journey. So making sure that we have social events where everyone feels welcome is really important. The best part is when, this is the lazy guy method, work smarter, not harder. You want to have a social event? Awesome. Can it be a passive fundraiser event by going to get pizza at Blaze Pizza and we get a cut of all the sales of folks that come in and mention Rotary at the same time? Bonus. Find a local organization in your area, a local restaurant that's willing to give you a cut of the door or a cut of the register just for going and hanging out at their place and doing something you're already going to do anyway, which is go have dinner and have fun with your Rotary Club. Super bonus. And something else that we had started this year with Mary Nichols was rotating small group networking meetups, which allows members to get to know each other that they on a level that they wouldn't necessarily do at a regular meeting where folks tend to stay in their clusters. It's a nice opportunity for your members to get to form other networking relationships. Last but not least is that professional development. One that a lot of clubs already do is that meeting embedded professional development. So you're engaging folks by having them come to a meeting while also giving them an interesting reason to come to a meeting and a possible way to bring a friend, bring a colleague and coworker, somebody that would benefit from the conversation that your club is having at that time. It's another way that your club can spotlight their members. Our members are business people. They're out in the community. Why wouldn't you want to spotlight them? Down at the bottom there, you see a financial planning workshop hosted by one of our members, Frank Randall. And last month's in-service professional development at the meeting was top tips to improve your resume and digital job search. Our members are in the first third of their career. This is a topic that's really top of mind for them. And possibly should be top of mind for all Rotary clubs that have members that are actively working, given the state of the economic climate and the great resignation that has been happening in the last couple of years. Folks are changing jobs at a great rate. So consider thinking about what is it that your members need. And if you don't know, ask them. One more meeting embedded event. So this is 3 different ways in which Rock City has literally embedded events into their meetings, so you're getting double the bang for your buck. One is the happy half hour. There's a social and networking activity at our meetings every single time we meet at Three Heads Brewing. The first half an hour is everybody coming in, getting settled, and just having those informal conversations and catching up. We have also embedded service events into the meetings so that folks are already there and they can do some good for the community. The picture you see here is our annual homeless care package bags that we assemble once a year for the open door mission to give to individuals that are unhoused, that stay at their facilities with seasonal supplies that they need to stay safe and warm throughout the cold weather. The best part is, and I'm sure you can give me a thumbs up in the window, whose clubs already do Happy Dollars or Cheers Bucks? How many people have noticed some of the younger members of your club or don't carry cash as much? That's a reality. I'm going to be quite honest. I very rarely carry cash anymore because a variety of digital platforms have made it so easy for me to pay people using electronic fund transfers. Our Cheers Bucks, you can paper hand us currency. We will always accept all forms of legal tender. However, what our members have found the easiest, and which nets us the largest amount of passive fundraising each meeting, is doing the Cheers Bucks. As you can see right on here, our treasurer, Sarah Lynch, who's present at this meeting, has set up both a PayPal and a Venmo account for this club, where folks can just scan the QR code you see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen and send their money right to Sarah right there, whether they have $1 in their pocket or not. Another thing we do is make it a targeted fundraising, which helps increase the likelihood that folks will donate. Each meeting, the Cheers Bucks are targeted to a specific cause. This particular one was going to refugees, helping refugees, an organization in the city of Rochester that specifically helps immigrant communities and new arrivals to our sanctuary city. This Cheers Bucks raised $80 to purchase a Price Right gift card for folks to use to go get food that they need from Price Right, which is walkable and in their community. So again, bang for your buck. So we're going to push to the second breakout session at this point. And I am unfortunately not seeing my little clock pop up. So I'll give you the time, facilitators, as soon as we push in. We're going to talk about the most important thing, the challenge. All of these things are challenging for clubs, particularly if you're small or you have members that are perhaps not as engaged or not as comfortable organizing events soup to nuts. And that's that analysis paralysis starts to set in. What are some service project ideas shared so far that you're doing? The best project is one that's already been tested by somebody else and proven its value. So chit chat with each other. I'm going to float around and we'll say about 10 minutes and we'll see you there.
Picture keeps jumping. So you need to unmute. This is not a great group.
Wow.
not a great group, Evan.
I take advantage of that.
I'm gonna just let Rocky and Janet, I mean, you got two facilitators, a DGE, I mean, we need,
What's everybody's take on the Venmo and the PayPal? We're a small, I shouldn't say small, we have 15, 20 members down here in Belmont. And I kind of I've used Venmo, and it's very, very convenient. And if you add to a fundraising where it makes it simple, what's everybody's thought on that?
Well, it wouldn't go well. It wouldn't go over in Edmiston, our members. Even some of the younger.
It's a touchy situation in ours as well.
We've been using it in Avon for about 2 years now, both that and PayPal. And like was said in the main meeting there, a lot of younger members just don't carry cash. I don't carry cash anymore.
Yeah.
And it is a good way if you want to get up and celebrate something, or you have to pay a fine or something like that. Just get on Venmo right there at the meeting and click your phone and just raise it up and show everyone.
Is there a charge to use Venmo?
No.
No charge?
But PayPal does.
And PayPal, there's a charge. Okay.
Yeah.
Venmo, if I'm not mistaken, it basically goes from your account into I just put down if we were to set one, if our treasurer were to set one up into our bank account or some other account, it would basically go from my account to the club's account automatically, like that, snap of a finger.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I appreciate the technology and the interest or not interest in it, but what are some more significant challenges besides getting happy dollars collected?
I don't think that's a minor detail, quite frankly. I mean, a lot of clubs do happy dollars at every meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're
it's a minor detail in the fact that there's answers, right? You go with Venmo or you stay with cash. You just decide. It's not a huge field of investigation or decision. I mean, if you guys want to talk about Venmo all night, that's fine with me.
If you do a fundraiser on Facebook, you advertise a fundraiser on Facebook saying, we're going to sell this thing. Well, we sell centerpieces at Christmas time. Normally, we just have the people pay when they pick up the centerpiece, but we could use Venmo or something like that to get all the payments ahead of time, and then just have the pickup day. When you come, check your name off a list, here's your centerpiece. So there are other applications you can use Venmo for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a good thought, a very good thought, yeah.
Okay, so Evan, going back to you, what do you want to talk about?
Well, and the general topic is, what's challenging your club as far as providing value to members in terms of social or professional growth, and getting service to communities. And yes, collecting funds is potentially a roadblock to some of all of those, but
I like the idea, and we've got old retired teachers. So I wrote down, you could provide a financial planning event throughout the community, throughout the county, really. If you had somebody that could write resumes or help with resumes, plan an event, you could charge $5 for it, something along that line.
That's an interesting event. I like that, actually. Have a good financial investor or somebody, maybe pro bono, just give an hour talk, or and open to the community. Yeah, Rocky.
Has anybody on this group embraced the idea that was presented there about changing your meetings or adding social events? Non-service type things, social events.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I like the social events idea. I think
I
that might.
people have done.
We do first Friday. We go around to various restaurants or bars on the first Friday of the month. Like last Friday, we went to the Canandaigua Country Club, and some people had dinner there, and some people just drank. Some people didn't drink at all, but they came in to socialize.
Yeah.
And we had a pretty good turnout, actually.
Yeah. Mike, you had your hand up?
We do, we'll sometimes have meetings at a member's house. Before and after every meeting, we call our prayer meeting, which
Been there, done that.
members, where members will get together and they'll have a couple drinks and socialize before the regular meeting, and we also have a meeting afterwards that people could go to. That's at every meeting we do that. We've met at other places. Just the change of atmosphere is sometimes just a good thing. Just it might be a regular type of meeting, but just that different place, getting people more engaged.
And do you alter times or not?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Like do you alter times, like maybe do it for lunch?
No, not usually. No.
Okay. All right.
Rocky, one format that I heard suggested a year and a half ago or so that our club tries to follow, but we're a smaller club, only 18 members, but in whatever order, whatever evening, you have your club business meeting once a week or month, excuse me. You have a service project once a month. You have a social event once a month, and you have a speaker / program once a month. And then you can just roll that, right? So, then you're at least, hitting all the buttons every month.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's back. I was getting to the point where the person led that we've been very successful repeating ourselves, but that doesn't mean it changes anything in the way that we do things, right? If we just do the same thing every week, it's not like we're introducing new thoughts. So that's why I was just wondering, like, you're doing the pre and post, which I liked, right? You have a pre and post event, whether you call it prayer or whatever definition you give that. And then Janet, you said your club does a first Friday thing.
First Friday, our regular meeting's on Thursday.
And your regular, that's, you jumped to the answer before I get to the question.
Yeah, we have a noon meeting on Thursdays, but first Friday is in the afternoon for social purposes.
Okay, that's good. That's another idea. I hadn't, yeah. And probably a different day helps that process of changing it up.
Well, yeah, it gets people who may not be able to come, come on a Tuesday evening, like in your case, but, oh no, you're not that's Mike. I got confused. Never mind.
Yep.
Is your first Friday strictly social, or do you do a recap of the week's meeting, or how do you do that?
No, we don't do a recap. Generally it's purely social, although once in a while we'll say, if you've got canned goods, bring them with you and we'll take them to the food pantry. Sometimes we try to combine a little service project with our first Friday, so it's not just drinking.
Well, depending on where you go, you could collect all the empties and give the money to somebody.
Right. True.
So Evan, does your club do first, second, third in that same order, or is it random?
The business meeting is fixed. The others can float a little bit.
All right.
What if you have a fifth day in the month?
Yeah.
Then what do you do?
We go out and have a fifth. We usually fill it with just another social event or a week off. If you have that, people don't mind a week off now and then either.
That's true.
Yeah, because there's been a number of clubs that I've talked to, because of the monotony, have eliminated meetings, right? Gone to 2 times a month because of the quote unquote repetitiveness. And I think some of the ideas you're talking about, I like the pre-idea. Post could probably get me in trouble. My wife would be one, but pre's got potential. Pre's got potential.
Well, that's what Rock City does. They do that half hour half hour, what they call it? Happy half hour?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
I don't know. We'd have a tough time getting people there at 6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
How
Coffee
do
and
you
donuts
get-
before the 7 o'clock meeting.
How do you get an old club that's very set in their ways to change? I have gotten flack from people when I put the 50-50 drawing in a different spot in the weekly meeting.
Oh,
It's
my.
like, yikes. How do you change them?
Do you
How does
have
that work?
a smaller group of younger people?
Nope.
No,
We have a pretty old club.
pretty old.
Telling
club.
you
Pretty old
breakfast every
club. We're a lunchtime meeting and we're a pretty old club.
You just get a couple other rebels with you and you just do it, right? You know?
Right, just change it, just, offer the opportunity. And if they come, they come. If they don't, screw them. Pardon my expression, but I mean, really, it's clubs have got to, people have got to understand that
They have to change or
they
they
have
die.
to change to or die.
Change or die. But it's like pushing a rope, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
Trust me, my club is very old as well, but we do have some younger, newer members, which are, it's refreshing. Thank God. But yeah, it's trying to, it's like beating your head against a wall.
Mhm.
But you do have to do it. You have to move on, and because you're not going to attract younger members if you don't.
True.
So I would say focus on the attraction of some new blood, and let the old guard do what they do. But take your new guard and go off and do it.
We have gotten a few younger members. They're not, in their 20s or even in their early 30s, but they are younger than the majority of our club.
Mhm.
So I'll have to work with them.
That's encouraging. Yeah. I mean, really.
And I think, Janet, you have to, and I'm not picking on you, but you can't just ignore tradition and throw those
Mhm.
people out, right? That do like their
No.
tradition. You
I'm
gotta
not
figure out-
saying throw them out. I'm saying let them do what they want to do.
Right,
But you can motivate
Move on.
change for some others.
right, and enhance, not
And
throw them
enhance.
out, enhance it, right?
Enhance.
That-
Mhm.
They're always invited.
Right, always invited, always included. Yeah, okay, that's good. But it's a tough thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's a tough thing, yeah. It's always a challenge when because every club has it, so don't freaking go, don't
Mhm.
anyone
Oh,
lie to
yeah.
say that we don't have anybody that's stuck in their ways, because we all have them, and they're good people. Don't
And they
get
are, and you don't want to get rid of them,
it. Exactly.
but you have to move them along.
You just have-
Social media, etc. Feel, again, as folks are coming in, feel free to ask any questions either in the chat and we will answer them as they come up, or unmute and just shoot.
I've got a question. Can I get some of the your diagrams that you put on the presentation tonight? Your
The slides.
I thank you.
Slides. Good question, Mr. Jones. Guess what? Every single person that attended tonight will be receiving a PDF copy of all the slides, so you can use it and review it at your leisure.
Just like Oprah.
Slides for you, slides.
You have slides and you'll have slides and you'll have.
Everybody gets some slides.
I want to know if we can get an electronic copy of your spreadsheet with the outline already created, so we can just plug in our own local copies, or our own local contacts rather.
I'm happy to create. I had a feeling, Denise, that was going to be a question. I'm happy to create a template and pass it along to Lizzie and the membership committee for dissemination It's not my intellectual property. Please use it. I mean, it is, but use it and abuse it because that's the point. It's to help you guys track your communication across many different people and many different parts.
I was an educator and we called it the case method, where we copy and steal everything.
As another educator, Miss Nancy, I'm here for that.
I just want to chime in to thank, everybody for chatting in those breakout sessions and sharing. We asked everybody kind of the first question, and each one was about your challenges. And we can't overcome all of them here, and some of them require one-on-one attention. I would just encourage everybody, since we have 4 different districts here, to consider reaching out to your district's leadership. We have resources available to help with public image and membership and any of those kinds of issues that you might be facing related to what we went over tonight. You don't have to struggle on your own. That's what your district is here for.
Something that would be nice is this Venmo idea. I've run into so many clubs that have done it, but I don't know how to do it. And I think that most of the people in my club don't know how to get onto it. And I'm not sure if our treasurer would be able to handle stuff coming in from Venmo. I need to know more about it, I guess is what I'm saying.
I bet, Charlie, that we can find somebody who can do a step-by-step how to create a Venmo account, and we can get it out to the registrants, because I
bet there's one on YouTube already.
I bet there is. You're probably right, Lizzie.
And if you search it on, let me Google that for you. I promise you, I Googled how to create a Venmo account. There is not one, but many people that have already done this for you. Nothing is new under the sun on the internet.
Allison, you said a lot.
Question.
I even repaired our coffee maker today because of YouTube.
Nancy?
Go, Nancy.
Our question is, we didn't know if an organization can have a Venmo account or if it had to be through an individual. But we had sort of heard that now an organization can do it, but we just haven't. Maybe I need to Google it because we can't seem to get that answer.
All you need is a bank account.
Okay.
If you already have a bank account associated with your club, you can shoot the funds right through there with a routing number, and you can physically, just like doing digital banking, transfer directly over from Venmo for either 0 or a slow transfer that takes between 3 and 5 days, or 1 to 2 days instantly for a couple of bucks.
You guys have answered a question we've been dealing with for 6 months.
Martin Windsor wants to say something.
Yeah, are there fees associated with Venmo?
No.
Okay, thanks.
Ellison was just saying, Martin, at the end there, when you transfer the money from your Venmo account into your bank account, you can choose. If you're willing to wait a couple days, it's free. There's no fees. If you are in a rush, though, you will have to pay a little bit of a fee to get the money in there instantly.
All right, make sure there's no rush.
Yeah.
Do you have to arrange it with the bank?
Nope. You set it up in your Venmo account to connect to your bank account, like Allison said, using your routing number.
Good idea.
Very good.
How does it compare to PayPal? Anybody use PayPal for that same thing?
PayPal usually has service fees affiliated.
Yeah, PayPal's going to have fees no matter how you do it. That's the benefit to Venmo. And I think more and more people are embracing it. It's an app on your phone, so much easier. And yeah, I think it's something clubs should work towards embracing. And again, just Google, how do I set up a Venmo account for my business or my organization? And you're going to find instructional tutorials to your heart's desire.
Tracy,
absolutely.
Another hand up.
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to add that Venmo currently does not support nonprofit. So you would have to have it somehow structured not as a nonprofit. You can do it as an organization or as a personal account. I noticed the Rock City looked like it was under a personal name. So you're going to have to do a workaround if you're functioning as a nonprofit.
Yeah, you'll be able to like receive, tax deductible donations or anything. Yeah.
You know, there is a pilot program right now that they're doing, but they haven't fully vetted it yet.
Thanks, Tracy. Well, Scott, are we?
I'd say one more thing. Would that be possible?
Sure, Charlie.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, this has got to do with Lizzie. With the happy dollars that you said in some places that they dedicate it to a particular organization or something every week. I think that Baldwinsville had a pretty unique way of handling that, where people chose, voted on the one that they wanted to do. Was that you? Your club? One of the clubs I was working with last year, when they got in there, everybody put a vote in for what they wanted to have money contributed for. And I think it was the happy dollars.
Yeah, it is Baldwinsville, Charlie, but it's not happy dollars. It's a separate drawing every month. Everybody that comes to a meeting, every meeting they come to, they get to enter a slip for a charity of their choice. And at the end of each month, we have a drawing, and whoever's charity is chosen, we donate $100 to that charity. So it's a separate event that we do. It kind of helps try to encourage people to come to meetings, because every meeting they attend, they get to enter their charity. And it's a way of giving back to the community in the areas that the members are interested in.
That's a great idea.
So, we do that separate from the happy dollars. The happy dollars actually just go to help our club finances.
Yeah, so I didn't recognize what you were asking about, Charlie. And charity of choice is free. You don't pay to enter, your chance for your charity. And to be full disclosure, we stole that idea from Little Falls Rotary, so they get the credit for charity of the month.
Thanks for straightening me out. I couldn't remember the details.
But it is a good program. It works out well. And people are excited if they win, that their charity will get a donation in their name.
Publicize that in a newsletter in the community or anything?
We do share in the newsletter reminders, make sure you come so you can enter to win. Here's who's won recently for the cause, we tell people what causes our other members care about.
That's our Rotary Club, within our Rotary Club. I mean, in order to enter, you have to be a member. You can't be a guest.
Any other questions, comments, concerns, good ideas?
Okay.
Okay, Scott, shall we wrap it up?
Yeah, yes, we shall. So I want to thank everybody for your time tonight, for taking the time to come join us and learn about shining a spotlight on Rotary. Tonight and a special thanks, of course, to Allison and Lizzie and Janet for pulling the program together. They did a great job, a ton of information. The brain is still processing. But one reminder, we're dealing with just tonight, for well over an hour, we've dealt with 2 of the 5 attributes that have been found to help Rotary clubs grow during the pandemic. And this is data-driven, is what you've heard tonight. So it's been proven that the things you've heard tonight really do have an effect on the vitality of your club, the growth of your club, and so on. One thing I do want to emphasize is that your PEs are going to be learning. There are 2 breakout sessions at the upcoming PETs that are going to deal with the 5 attributes. So they'll be learning a little bit about this. And I don't know if everyone is going to be able to attend, but some of the PEs from our 4 districts in Syracuse next week, I think, next weekend, will be learning more about this, learning some details. And when they come back to your clubs, you might want to talk to them about what they've learned about the 5 attributes. And the first one is that that Janet mentioned at the beginning is clear membership goals and a growth plan. If you take what you learned tonight and develop it into a plan, if you don't already have one, and most clubs do not, about how you can grow your club, your chances for success grow tremendously. So I would just urge that when your PEs come back from pets, if they've learned about the attributes of growing Rotary clubs, sit down and have a conversation and take what you've learned tonight, put it in a growth plan, and Godspeed, and we wish you great success. So again, thank you all for attending. Our district, this comes from the district membership chairs from the 4 districts who get together about once a month. And they do other things besides plan the membership Monday events, but this is the thing we have been doing with significant success. This is our 2nd year. I think this is the 9th or 10th one we've done, and we will be planning some more. Don't know what they are quite yet. We'll get together and we will be announcing further topics, and we'll get back to you and for further membership Monday events down the road. So thanks again. Any final comments? Janet, Allison, Lizzie, you all set?
If anyone wants to save the transcript, go down to the bottom of your screen where it says CC or transcript, and you can save the transcript so that you have all the notes. It doesn't tell you who was talking, and it's not always exactly clear, but I found it valuable in certain cases. So, and the recording will be available. Scott, where's the recording going to be available?
We'll send it out to the district membership chairs who can distribute it to the district and the DGs, and they can distribute it to their district however they see fit.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks,
Lizzie, remember to send it to me.
Sure, Charlie.
All right. I'm closing it
Good night,
out.
everybody. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank
Night,
you.
everyone.
Bye.